Hmm. I guess I'm live. Let me just check on my page here. This is the first time going live directly to Facebook. Yeah, I'm going live. Beautiful. So I've been thinking a lot this morning about creativity and is it really that important? And there's a mindset shift that I think our resistance just really doesn't want us to adopt. And let me just frame this a little bit. We are creative. As human beings, we are creative. We create all the time. Now, it may not look like painting or knitting or graphic design, or like creativity comes in many different forms. And I think where we go astray is we think that our creativity, what I create, what you create, is isolated, that it's just for us, that it really doesn't have an impact on the bigger, field of influence. And it can also be seen as a waste of time. Why paint pretty pictures? Why do a collage? Why draw? Why build something out of wood? Um, we can see it as frivolous. And I think currently, given our situation of being, sheltering in place, we can diminish that even more. We can think that we have to worry about what's going to happen. We have to worry about our health. We have to worry about our loved ones. There's lots of uncertainty. Where's the money going to come from? When do I get back to work? All of these things can be occupying our time at the moment, which is absolutely normal and natural. Nothing wrong with that. And we can choose to let all that worry just settle on its own over here, and we can get back to creating. Now, the creating for me has me feel better. It has me feel like I can make a decision, I can change my mindset, I can be productive, I can start something new. And the bigger picture is when I create, I change the energy of many. It isn't just a singular thing. We are all connected creatively. So when I free up my resistance to create, I come on, do a live stream on Facebook and on Zoom. This is how it shows up. I have my day ahead of me. I'm going to be creating some new paintings, but connecting with you and sharing this perspective switch is because I allowed myself to be creative, to imagine new projects, to get started on preparing new canvases, to implement some of the things that I say that I want. So when we are in this place of uncertainty and we're diminishing our creativity, I want to just invite you to explore something you're interested in, something creative. Could be pulling out some color medium that you already have and doing a drawing or a collage, pulling out some magazines and doing a collage of some sort. It could be going for a walk in your community and taking pictures, right, of things that inspire you. There's many different ways, and you know how you want to be creative. It could be that project that's been sitting in the closet for ages that you think, well, now's the time. I'm going to pull that out and get going on it. What I want you to pay attention to is not only how do you feel when you are creative, and how do you respond in your life and your community when you allow yourself that creativity. Since I published my first course on canvases, the critical first step of how to prepare a canvas for a painting, I've heard from a few people that, oh, CL, I love what you're doing, but I can't draw. I can't draw a stick man. So, great that you put that course together, but that really isn't for me. And here's the truth. I can't really draw either, right? I've had lots of, contrary opinions to my ability as an artist from my instructors throughout the years. And, drawing's not my strong suit, or so my mind is telling me. Because ultimately what I'm doing when I'm painting is I'm drawing. But I've kind of come at it from the back door versus starting with drawing. Oh, I'm going to draw and then I'm going to paint. No, I'm going to paint and then I'm going to draw. Because I've created a bit of a confidence and a surety of my creativity through the painting, right? I don't need to focus on the drawing. If drawing is a difficult thing for me, then don't worry about it. Don't draw then. Do something else, right? Um, I think we do ourselves a disservice when we think that our creativity is just for us and it's a singular thing and doesn't have an impact on other people. Because it does, right? We have an impact on other people. Our energy, how we are in the world has an impact. And what I'm finding is when I make time for my creativity, yeah, it's not always easy, but I feel deeply, bone deep satisfied with what I'm creating. And when my paintings are purchased and I send them off to their new home, the reactions from people who are receiving them, whew, it changes their experience of their life. It changes their interior space. It changes what they think is possible for them, right? Paintings, buying paintings is not top of the list in a lot of people's minds, but only because we haven't recognized the value that original artwork brings to our life and the value of claiming something that moves us. You know, I remember the first painting that I purchased. I'd been following this artist for a while, and she was represented by a gallery here in town. And I'd often gone and just admired her work and felt like, oh, those are way out of reach. Like I can't financially do that. I can't buy that. And feeling sad about it, feeling like, God, but I really want that because those paintings move me. And when I realized, I think I had, I'm not sure. It was some occasion in my life that I decided I am going to go see what's available. And I decided to claim one of her paintings. Now I put it on layaway. I couldn't afford to buy it all at once. I put it on layaway and made payments along the way. But what really was the deciding factor for me is when they hung that painting on the wall and I stood in front of it for the first time, I burst into tears because the beauty of that painting touched the beauty in me. It's a reflection and a representation of a beauty that I feel is within me, and that painting was reflecting it back to me. That's priceless. That is priceless, to see ourselves in the world in a new way, right? To acknowledge the gift that we are in a new way. This is what art can do for us, right? It can have us reflect on the things that we deeply value and the things that move us. So is creativity really important? You're damn right, it's really important. It's important for you to create. It's important for you to feel better. And through creating, you will feel better. And it changes the way that you move in your life, right? You move with more freedom and move with more ease and more grace and more surety, right? More confidence when you allow yourself to create. And your creative voice could look any number of different ways. And that's the beauty of it, is that your voice, your unique voice, is what's important. You don't have to copy or emulate anyone else. Getting out of our own way so that our voice can show up the way that we feel compelled to present ourselves. That's what's important, right? That whole mental idea that I can't do it that way. I'm not qualified. I don't have the education. Oh, I can't do it like so and so. All of those things are the egoic structure that prevents us from opening up to our creativity. You know, I was reading this morning, one of the most difficult things as humans is for us to open up to our imagination, to allow ourselves to explore and imagine and daydream and create a world that we want to see, right? And then making it physical in some way. You know, I was gardening this weekend and creating the world that I want to see. I want to see beautiful flowers in my front garden. I want to take the boring, ugly builder grade bushes out that bring no value and put some more roses in, or more garden space, or more like things that really fill me and have me feel excited about walking out. I mean, I've been out in the garden twice already today. right? To check on the plants, to talk to my plants, to visit my tulips, to see what my peonies are doing. This is the value. It changes my life because I'm out experiencing some joy and some beauty. And that comes back into the studio and I feel inspired and I want to create more beauty in the work that I do. So this is the repercussion of allowing yourself to be creative, allowing yourself to be imaginative and make something physical from your inspiration, whatever that looks like. And there's no qualifying. It doesn't really matter how you create. The important part is that you do create something that you're inspired to create. It will have you feel better and it will change the way that you interact in your life, particularly at this time, because we've been restricted in how we can interact with our life. So finding your imagination and your way to your creativity is like way more important right now. So I'm going to encourage you to get curious. I'm going to invite you to pull out a project that you've been thinking of, to even do some research on YouTube or Pinterest or anything that inspires you, and then create something. Start to put something together that is representation of your imagination. And I'd love to hear about it. You can post it on my page, private message me, and see how this inspired your creativity and your imagination to flourish, right? I mentioned that I have a course that I've published. It's called The Canvas Surface, The Critical First Step. It's a very short course. It is free. And it's about preparing the canvas for a painting. In this case, oil painting is where I'm focused. So that's what the content will be looking at. And oil painting seems to be a little bit of a challenge for a lot of people. It feels like this elite medium that is mystical and uncertain and expensive. And I couldn't possibly move into, I better start with watercolor or acrylics or something safer, right, than the oil painting. And it's simply not that way. It's just another medium. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about it, you can just private message me and I'll let you know all about it. It is free for the first section of the course, for the Canvas section. And I'd love to have you in it. All right, take care. Bye.